Hi, my name's Rose, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to talk about a video that was posted by Chad Sullivan regarding the state of farms in the United States. When I originally made the post, the sharing, it was like most other things that I've been putting up these days. It's just to provide information about what's going on that not everybody may be aware of. In sharing these things, I love giving other viewpoints um, about the information um, to help us all understand that we're not victims of these things that are happening around us, and we can actually get in the driver's seat. This one in particular brought up some stuff within me. After I posted it, the following morning, I was shown in a vision the word depopulation. And nobody wants to see that word, but I had to sit with it. And as I sat with it, it was stirring in me, and I decided to go see a local farmer, which was part of the post that I put up. So I went to see this local farmer who was about a half hour away and talked to him about what this gentleman was basically urging us to be aware of how farms are tilling up their crops, tilling them over so that the vegetables and none of it can be harvested, how they're euthanizing animals. Um, the reasoning behind it is that there's no one there to cultivate the crops or to take care of the animals, and it just felt like a load of shit. So when I was talking with this farmer, he did confirm what's happening, and he said that he's not tilling up his crops and he's not euthanizing his animals. He brought to my attention that this is happening on the larger farms. And as he was talking to me, I realized that some of these farms I had been reading about that were being bought up by larger corporations, that this has been part of their game plan, is to buy up these big, larger farms. And there's a rabbit hole there. I did not go down that rabbit hole. I get a sense, you get a sense that they want control over the food supply. So let's just leave that subject right there. They want control over the food supply. And we've known that depopulation has been a potential. For some of us, we sense that more strongly, we know that more strongly, and others have yet to come to that realization that there has been an agenda to depopulate. As I felt into this, as I was driving home, I got flooded, like literally inundated with all these memories of um, being alive at different times and watching genocide happen on this planet. In some cases, I was a part of the genocide, and in some cases, a witness to the genocide. And I literally cried all the way back to my house. And it was a very deep clearing. When those kind of recognitions come in, you just kind of have to feel them and let them come up and let them release. Um, I started feeling a lot of guilt for not sharing my journey more with others on social media. I tend to hermit myself and have these experiences on my own, and I don't talk about them. That's also been a part of my journey, and I'll get into that in other videos, but for this one, I want to keep it very focused. So when I came to the memories of the genocide, um, had to work through the feeling of guilt for not sharing sooner. I had to recognize the urgency that I've been feeling. So every time I share something on Facebook, there's been this urgency inside of my body. And I'm like, what is this urgency? And every time I share information, I kept feeling more urgency. And I'm like, what is this urgency I keep feeling? Well, now I'm getting more to the root of where the urgency is coming from. So, one of the urgencies comes from feeling responsible for others. When I was having the memories of the past lifetimes of genocide, and I've had these memories over a number of years, they just all kind of come flooding back in at the right moment. So you can get the string of pearls kind of coming together, and it has a deeper meaning for you, and it has it'll bring forward more memories that are hidden inside, hidden in the unconscious, the non-awareness. So as I brought this forward, the responsibility for, it's something that I have carried with me through my entire lifetime in this incarnation. Being responsible for others, it's how I ended up in nursing. And I know that I had an incarnation during the time of Al Capone, and I was a doctor in that incarnation making house calls. So it's been a theme for me, and not just this incarnation. But it boils down to that feeling responsible for others. The other thing that really came to the surface that I wanted to talk about is sacrifice. So there's been a theme that I've also carried about sacrificing myself for others. And you see doctors and nurses do this all the time, where they run themselves into the ground until they have nothing else to give, until they're literally sick themselves and they pass over. So, those were the two things I realized that I was holding vibrations too. So, I talk a lot about on my blog, and I post sometimes about consenting and about vibrational responsibility or vibrational invitations. And that's what I'm referring to. So, when you find or you learn about yourself, will help you understand how you're consenting to these experiences that are happening in the reality you're living. Um, so, one of the reasons I wanted to share this is I know this will help enlighten some of my friends that follow me on Facebook. A lot of what I have been sharing most recently, I've been sharing because it's part of my own inner journey. And in that sharing, it's helping me to go deeper within myself. And I recognize that when I share some of these things, it's creating triggers in other people. And I can't tell you that that's going to go away. This seems to be a soul theme that I carry. It's not a coincidence that I'm remembering these genocides and how we've actually um, had mass extinction more than once, which is something that I was aware of before, but it wasn't an awareness from an internal knowing and recognition of being there. I had a memory when I was 2 years old. Um, it was during a really bad storm outside, and the people that were standing in the room were talking about war. We're talking about basically that apocalyptic kind of energy was in the room, and I could feel it. And even though I didn't understand their words, I was having memories of nuclear war. And I remember standing in front of a picture of Jesus and praying with all my heart. I wasn't praying out loud, but I was standing there with like every stuffed animal I could get in my arms as my comfort. And I was afraid if the storm took down our house that they would be left behind. So I had them all wrapped in my arms, trying to hold as many as I could because I didn't want to leave any of them behind. And I sat there in front of the picture of Jesus and I was just praying my heart out. So these are times when something can occur in our experience, in our reality experience, that triggers these memories that are buried in our DNA. Those memories will only get activated when it's important for them to come to the surface. So a lot of that is happening for everyone right now. And I just want to remind everyone to be kind. I know that not everything that everyone is sharing is a resonance to you, and that's okay. If you're feeling misalignment with it, and if it's making you angry, or if it's making you sad, um, or if it makes you feel like nobody hears you and nobody cares, or you think that nobody cares about other people, that is a great indication that there's something right there that's ready for you to heal that's inside yourself. That's what it is when we're digging things up that are not in our conscious awareness, but they lie deep under the surface. When they rise and bubble up, we become reactive or what they call triggered. Those are actually good things, although it takes time to be able to look at them and say, oh, look, I feel like shit, that's good. It takes time to get to that point. And even the most seasoned of us who've been doing this for years, we still go for our walks and we're motherfucking everything. Fuck, 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 fuck. And there's nothing wrong with that. You want to get it out of your system, but also recognizing that that's not what you truly are. If in those moments you can stop and take a deep breath and say, I know I'm feeling this. It's not what I really am. It's not who I really am. And you can ask for it to be cleared. These things will be cleared for you if you ask for them to be cleared. One of the things I like to use to clear things very easily is I'll ask for the violet flame to burn off anything that's not part of my divine blueprint, that's not of who I am or what I am. And in that moment, when I ask for the violet flame to engulf my energy and burn out that which does not belong, immediately I can feel it burning off and burning away. You don't have to do deep dives every single time something triggers you. If you are new to understanding what the inner work is, it is to your benefit to dive deep within and understand where some of this comes from. It will benefit you tremendously as you begin your journey into uncovering more of what is unconscious or unaware to become conscious of it. That is the very definition of expanding your consciousness. Each time you are able to tap into something about yourself that is being brought to your attention through your emotion, you're becoming conscious of it. Once it hits your consciousness and becomes transmuted into love, because love is who you are, is what you are, that expands your consciousness. As your consciousness expands, your discernment naturally grows. I hear so many people talking about discernment. You have to have discernment. No, you have to go inside. Discernment is a byproduct of going inside and discovering those aspects of yourself that you're not aware of. As you become more aware of those aspects inside, your real eyes will be able to see the real lies. You'll be able to understand things from a broader viewpoint, and it will help you change the way you make your decisions. So, another thing I wanted to touch about genocide. Yes, this is part of the plan of the deep state when you hear about the deep state cabal. It's not new to our planet. It's happened a number of times. I suggest you go through and listen or to YouTube channels or go to a Google or Yahoo, your go-to search engine, and look up the history of some of the genocides that have happened on this planet. It may surprise you. I know some of the personal ones I was there for was Lemuria. I know that I, for certain, was around for the genocide that happened in Nazi Germany. I was also part of the genocide that happened in Armenia. The Armenia genocide is not really spoken about much. You can't find a lot about it in the history books, but it was even bigger than the genocide that we talk about that happened in Germany. So these genocides have been happening for a long time. Um, I've spoken about um, the connections of, of where this is being fueled from. It's being fueled from off planet, um, I will call them negative aliens. These aliens have been around a really long time. I'll get into more about that in other videos. For this one, I just wanted to share the experience that I had. I'm going to end this video and create the next one. The next video is about what we can do next so that we feel like we're more in the driver's seat and help you to um, have some of the experiences that I'm having during this time and how I am beginning to see how the dots are connecting. So we'll connect some dots together. But thank you for joining me on this video, and hopefully I'll get to share more with you next time.